Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the eighth edition of Decoding Adyogi Platform, our monthly product webinar. I hope you've had a sizable lunch as we'll be starting with an informative session in just another few minutes. I'm delighted to welcome each and every one of you. So this is our eighth edition this time, and we are back for a rejuvenated new year, that is 2024. For those who have just joined, please introduce yourself in the chat box. We would love to know more about you and the D2C brands that you're handling. So please do make sure that you're talking a little bit about your brand, and if you're facing any challenges related to the Adyogi platform or otherwise related to performance marketing, please feel free to drop them in the chat box and we would be happy to address them. For those who are just joined, again, I would like to mention that please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat box and talk a little bit about your brand, and so that we can get to know you better and help address your queries at the end of the webinar. All right, so to set some context for today's session, let me give you a brief introduction to product performance management. So after working with 350 plus brands throughout 8 plus years, the biggest challenges that e-commerce brands face is to identify the products that work best for them and how to promote them in their catalog ads. In our previous webinar, we explored this concept and some use cases of product performance management. But this time we'll go a step further and show you how to create catalog ads that contain specific cohorts of products. So again, people who have just joined, welcome to the webinar. Please don't forget to drop about a little about your brands that you're handling, a little bit about yourself if you're managing a brand or if you're owning a D2C brand. If you're facing any challenges related to performance marketing or anything else, please feel free to drop in the chat box, and you're welcome to the eighth edition of Decoding Adyogi Platform. As I was saying, that in the previous webinar, we touched upon a concept called product performance management. In this webinar, we'll go a step further and deep dive into some of the use cases of product performance management, also known as PPM. And we'll also give you a step-by-step guide on how to create catalog ads that create impact and contain specific cohorts of products that yield you better results and improve your profitability of your ad account. So get ready as we are going to get our hands dirty while deriving actionable insights from today's session so that you can implement the same right after the webinar. All right, so before we proceed further, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Muskan, a product marketer at Adyogi, and it's my pleasure to be your host and speaker for today's session. We have Pranab, team lead of the Adyogi product team, and we have Divisha, assistant manager of Adyogi operations team, as panelists for today's session. All right, since we have a few participants already joined in, let's set the agenda for today's session. Moving on to the agenda slide, we'll be talking about two major challenges that D2C brands have been facing while creating catalog ads on Meta and Google. And these are some challenges that we have personally faced while handling some of the biggest apparel and other industry clients at Adyogi. Now, next up, after talking about the problems and describing what problems they faced, we'll talk about the solutions to these problems and give you a step-by-step guide on how we guided them on combating these problems and how did Adyogi's product analytics section as well as smart ads, also known as catalog ads, helped them. Then we have on the third checkpoint, we have a value feature of catalog rules. In the last session also, we discussed about and we launched this feature called catalog rules. It basically talks about categorizing your catalog on the basis of certain rules and attributes. And this time we'll give you a live case study on how these rule-based categorization helped one of our brands, especially in the men's apparel industry. Then we have proven tactics to combat the post-holiday slump that a lot of e-commerce brands face in the first 2-3 weeks of January. And lastly, personally, my favorite, we have free product performance audit for those who stay till the end. So, without any further ado, I would like to close the agenda for today. And after we've covered the entire session, we'll have a Q&A, and wherein you can send in your queries and you can raise your hand even to talk about the challenges that you must have faced in your brand while handling your ad accounts. So I encourage each and every one of you to actively engage throughout the webinar, because this is going to be a jam-packed session with fully loaded with information and steps to guide you. So please share your thoughts, questions, and anything else during the session in the chat box or in the Q&A box, and let's make this a dynamic learning experience. Hope you enjoy this session. Over to you, Pranav.
Thank you, Muskan, and a very good afternoon to everyone. I hope you all had a sizable lunch. So without further ado, we'll jump right into the webinar. And the first thing that we wanted to talk about is the challenges that has been faced by D2C brands that have been managed by Adyogi. And these challenges have been very constant. So we have has a sizable amount of brands that have faced these two important questions. And how do you tackle these questions, which I think becomes important for us to give a heads-on answer to. So the first question that we have is, and that again, a lot of brands and sizable presence brands have asked us, is how do you see your hidden gems or less discovered products? And it becomes more important as to how do you identify these hidden gems from your hero categories, and then you promote them in all of your catalog ads. Now, if you talk about the first problem, it's more about identifying that within your hero categories, and these hero categories are products that generally have a lot of your top products that drive maximum revenue. But the idea is to identify those hidden products, or let's say products where less spends have been attributed, and then how do you run catalog ads on top of it? And the second question that I have is again an equally important is how do you promote products from your less discovered segments, and let's say how do you promote them in let's say in your catalog ads? So these two problems majorly define a lot of brands that currently face while running their e-commerce journey, let's say while marketing. So let's just tackle the first problem. And just for context, when we're talking about these problems, we'll be using and we'll be referring to these quadrants, or let's say these sections where your products move. So just a basic heads up. This is specifically, these are product performance quadrants, which essentially means that of all your products in your catalog, your products can be classified into 4 quadrants, which is either hero products, hidden gems, less discoverable, and poor performers. So essentially, hero products are products that drive your maximum revenue, that are your star performers. Hidden gems are those products that are potential products, and if given a chance, they can then become your next set of hero products. Less discoverable products are those which have not been attributed relevant ad spends, and let's say when given a chance, they can either turn to your hidden gems or your hero products, and again continue the journey. And poor performers are outright non-performers that have been given considerable amount of ad spends, but they still have not performed well in any of your cataloging ads or across your marketing funnel. So this is the 4 quadrants that your products generally move while covering their entire, e-commerce journey. So as we have done the basic understanding for that, let's just first pick up the first problem, which is how do I identify and promote my less discoverable products from my hero category? So the answer lies in 2 ways. First is you use the product analytics from the Adyogi dashboard to identify your hidden gems from your hero categories. And the second is to create a smart ad on top of this hero category products with less discoverable segments or less discoverable cohorts. So just to set a context, your top categories derive the maximum revenue for you in, let's say, any of your marketing events, whether it be BAU days or let's say whether it be event days. But within your top categories, or let's say your hero categories as well, you have a segment of products where not relevant ad spends have been attributed, or these products did not get that much chance as attributed by Meta or Google to be part of any of the catalog linked ads. So even though they have got less number of visibility or views per se, the performance has been great. And considering the amount of performance that these products have driven for you, these products definitely hold a lot of potential for you to, to be scaled up exponentially. And if given a chance, they can, let's say, give you a good profitable return on your overall ROAS. So how do you identify these hidden gems or these hidden potentials? You can use the product analytics section to identify these hero gems. So what you need to do is you can go to your dashboard, and from your product analytics, go to the overview section. Once you go to the overview section, we have a complete comprehensive view created, which can help you to see your funnel view, performance view, orders view, and custom. So for this matter, we'll take up the custom view. Now, within the custom view, I have my products currently grouped at a category level, where all of my products are, let's say, segmented into relevant categories. Now, within these categories, I can identify my set of categories that let's say, for example, I may consider as a hero category or my top converting category. So within this, if I see that my overall conversion is, let's say, 0.6% at an account average, let me just switch it to last 30 days. So got it. So now at a conversion rate of 0.65% for the overall ad account, my kurtas category has given me a conversion rate of 0.94%. Okay. So now this is something that I can consider as a hero category. Now, when I'm running my kurta in my catalog ads, it is not could be a case that certain products from the kurta would have a lot of visibility, while the remaining section may not have that much visibility, but still driving considerable performances from. Now, the idea is to identify those hidden gems or those less discoverable products and use them in all of your marketing efforts, or let's just start promoting them so that they become your next star performers. So what you can do is directly when you've identified your hero category or categories, you can click on the create button and then go to Facebook Smart Ad create button. And the moment you land on this, you can select the specific product category. Now within this, you can select your hero category. So for this, we've identified that the kurta is a hero category for us, which contains 218 products. Now what I can do is I can enable the Adyogi Smart filters. And within the price range section, I can define the pricing. So for me, I've included the entire category as, let's say, for the entire category as for consideration. So I can say minimum price from 100 to 10,000 so that it includes all the products. Now, this is where the beauty of the Adyogi filters lies in. Now, this is where I can define the less discoverable or hidden gem section. So what I can say is that since my overall account average or my category average is 0.9%, I can take that any product that has a conversion rate of more than 1%, that is above my hero category range and above my ad account average range of 0.64, and a maximum of 10%. But the number of views has to be less. So now views can be taken as a proxy of the visibility of a product. Lesser the number of views, lesser is the visibility of a product in all of your marketing efforts, be it, let's say, paid or organic. So I can say anything that has, let's say, got less views. So minimum, let's say, maybe from 1,000 views to 5,000 views in the last 30 days. Now, with these conditions set on top of my hero category, I can click on the apply button. And automatically, it gives me a good chunk of, let's say, 46 to 50 products that have, given me considerable good amount of performance, but with a very low visibility. So now this is again a segment that I can start tweaking. And so I can, let's say, change my view conditions. So let's say from, let's say, 200 to 1,000, 1,000 to, let's say, 5,000. So I can create these segments or these cohorts of these products. And then with that, I can then identify a list of products that have a good potential to actually scale my brand, or let's say bring me more profitability, but have, let's say, been given less number of views. So this gives me the option to create a product set of these good odd 50 products and then launch them in my catalog ads. Because now, since I've known that these products have established their profitability, or let's say they have established their performance, they can, or let's say they are a good bet for me to run in all of my marketing campaigns. So this gives me the idea to identify my low discovered or hidden gems from my hero categories so that I can then start using my hero category to its full potential. So the idea is to make sure that your hero categories and the products within those hero categories are, let's say, used to their best potential to scale your brand rapidly during festivity and in your business as usual days. So that's the first problem, is to identify your hidden gems and your low discovered products from your hero categories and start promoting them in all of your catalog linked ads. So now let's say if we go back, we have the option to, let's say, identifying these hero product and hero gems. And let's say you can use the smart ad section to create segments or cohorts of these products and run in all of your catalog ads. The second problem that we want to tackle right now is let's say, the inverse of the first problem, which again, a lot of brands have actually highlighted is, once your festivities and let's say once your brand has actually walked through the entire marketing funnel, you will identify that apart from having a list of your hero products, you also have a segment of inventory where not much movement has actually taken place, which essentially means that even though you have promoted a certain, let's say, category, certain specific categories within your catalog may not have seen that much number of views or may not have given that level of performance. So that, and ultimately sort of it can become your dead inventory or your inventory that is locked, where you do not know how to promote this inventory. And of course, there are a multiple, let's say, number of ways to promote. You can go deep discounting, you can go coupons, and then you can, use it as an offer bait. But the idea is to, use even this dead inventory to the best potential so that you can also drive profits from on top of this segment of products that have not, let's say, seen much performance or not that have not actually given much performance. So again, the principle remains the same, that you need to identify these low discovered products, or let's say products within the low discovered categories, and start slicing profitable chunks from these low discovered segments. So that even let's say if you're promoting your low discovered categories, you're still promoting profitable section from these categories. So what you can do is you can again go to your product analytics. So let me just again divert back to the section. Now within this, what I can do, I have my categories currently listed in this section. So if I can see, so for example, let's say my overall conversion is 0.65%. I'll be identifying 3 low discovery categories. And within these categories, then I'll start the process of creating my profitable segments from these low discovery categories so that I can start attacking my dead inventory at a profitable, on the profitable spectrum. So for me, let's say, see, kurta set seems to be a good category. So I can identify my kurta sets, I can identify my kurtis, which again give me a better conversion rate than my overall. But the number of views that have been, let's say, attributed to them is very low. And let's say dresses. Dresses also have a very low number of visibility in terms of my overall performance if I look at it. So again, I can go to my smart ad section. And what I can do is I can remove this category and now I can select my low discovered or let's say my low performance categories. So let me just pick up my kurta sets. Let me pick up kurtis. And let me, let's say, pick up in that case, dresses. So the moment I select dresses, let me just enable the Adyogi filter. And let me, again, I'll go back to the price range. And with the price range of, let's say, let me just remove these so that I have a clear visibility as to the product segments. And click on apply. So now this gives me a list of 134 products from my low discovered or let's say low discovered segment or low discovered cohorts of from my catalog. Now, the idea right now is to identify profitable chunks from these low discovered sections and start promoting them so that you have the option to, attack your dead inventory, but at the same time, do it in a profitable way. So what you can do is you can again define the price range to incorporate the entire category. So you can define a price range of a very huge margin so that all the products are included in, or let's say within that specific range. For me, this is let's say from 100 to 10,000. Now, what I can do is, let's say if I go back to my segments, I can see that my overall conversion rate, let's say, happens to be somewhere between 0.7 to 0.65 and let's say somewhere around 1.7. So roughly, let's say a conversion rate of 0.8 or 7 is, let's say, the medium, or let's say that is very equal to the summary that I get on an ad account level. So what I can do is I can say that any product that has a minimum conversion of, let's say, 0.7, that is more or roughly equal to my overall summary of these 3 categories, with a maximum of, let's say, 10. And with the number of views, since I know that these categories have been in the low discovered section, I can define, so let's say any product that has got, let's say, more than 500 views and let's say a maximum of, let's say, 5,000. Again, this is again a very a reference range where you can define multiple reference range or multiple cohorts to identify those segment of products and then hit on apply. So out of the overall 134 products that I have within these low discovered categories, I get a good odd number of 60 products within my product set. Now, these products are again those profitable segments where I know that the visibility has been less since I've taken the minimum views as 500 in the last 30 days. But at the same time, they have given me an overall conversion rate of 0.7 and above. So again, you can keep tweaking these numbers. You can, let's say, pick up a range of, let's say, and then you can create multiple cohorts. So let's say for each category as well, you can then start creating these profitable segments. So you can select your dead inventory segments or let's say low discovered segments. And from there, you can then start identifying the profitable segments. And then you can have multiple ranges of price, conversion rates, and views. And then based on that, you can then create these product sets and then start promoting these product sets. So now the idea that we have tackled in these 2 problems remains the same, is to identify segments of products. So in the first case, we were trying to identify hidden gems from our hero category. In the second segment, we were trying to identify profitable chunks from our low discovered or let's say our less discovered segments. So that even if you want to offload inventory that has not seen the light of the day during my BAUs and festivity, I can still attack it in a profitable way or let's say on the profitable segment. So this is how we want to tackle the problem of inventory or let's say products that are currently sitting in your catalog. Correct. So I think this should collude and this should actually help a lot of brands to attack their products and let's say see greater data or insights on top of these products. Now, for further analysis as to how do we see that data and how do we see that analysis, I'll transfer it to Muskan. Over to you.
Yes, thanks, Pranav. So now that we've understand the 2 problem statements that our D2C brands have faced, we'll talk about the one value feature that helped a lot of D2C brands in categorizing their categories is rule-based categorization. So if we move to the slide of rule-based categorization, it basically talks about how to categorize your products based on multiple attributes. Let's say you have shirts, t-shirts on your website, and you want to categorize them on the basis of different attributes, let's say fabric, occasion, style, collection, etc. So why this categorization is important is because it helps you to have a better control over the product categories that you promote in your Meta and Google ads, and also to give you a better analysis and streamlined analysis. So if we go to the next slide, you will be able to see that one of our brands called Bombay Shirt Company categorized their catalog on the basis of different collections. By collections, I mean the classic whites, flannel shirts, casual shirts, business shirts, everyday checks. Now, if you see that they all belong to the same product type, that is shirts, but still, even having the same product type, they were able to have some level of categorization on the basis of style, which helped them to create ads on the basis of these categories or on the basis of these styles. Now, if we go to the next slide, we will be able to see how it looks like on the Adyogi platform. So this gave us a streamlined analysis of categories. So if you see alongside each and every category, alongside business shirts, casual shirts, classic whites, etc., we have certain metrics, and we are able to quickly within seconds analyze what is the performance of my each and every category. And within like one glance, I'm able to see that business shirts is giving me the highest conversion rate, following which I have my casual shirts, the classic whites, flannel shirts, etc. Now, if I head to the Adyogi platform onto the product analytics section, I will be able to see how this particular view looks like on the Adyogi dashboard, and how you can do that also for your account. So let's say this is a women ethnic wear brand, and if we go to product analytics, and we can see that under overview, we have specific categories called ethnic wear for women, suit sets, kurtas, kurta sets, dresses, etc. Again, even here, we are able to analyze the performance of each and every category. But not just these 4-5 metrics, we have a proper list of metrics that you can see under the custom view. That is the fourth view that you can see from the drop down of views on the top. So we have certain metrics fetched from GA, then we have certain metrics fetched from Facebook, that is spends, impressions, clicks, CTR, etc. Then we have certain metrics fetched from your Google ads as well, that is your ad spends going into Performance Max ads, the number of purchases, the amount of purchase value, what was the ROAS, and what was the revenue generated. Then lastly, we have certain metrics fetched from your website backend as well, or your e-commerce store, that is your total revenue fetched from each and every category. So basically, the idea here is to give you a comprehensive view of all your categories from all the data sources possible under a single dashboard or under a single view. And if you want to see the profitability also of each and every category, we have a section, we have a column called ROAS and CRR. So CRR, in other words, is basically ACOS, or the cost of advertising. And the higher the CRR means that the lower the performance, and the lesser the CRR means greater the performance. So evidently, ethnic wear for women uh, has 6.7 CRR, but again, we have other categories also. The suit sets has the lowest CRR of 4.55, and it's getting a lot of spends as well. It's giving you a lot of purchases. Its ROAS is also around 22x if we see and compare it with the website revenue. So that's the impact of rule-based categorization, and we highly recommend you to check this out on the Adyogi platform if you haven't already. You can access it on the side panel under catalog rules, uh, and you should be able to do that in a matter of seconds. If not, please feel free to reach out to us or your account manager if you're collaborated with us. If not, you can also drop us a mail, and we'll help you understand the value behind this feature. All right, it's poll time, and it's time to get your reviews on today's session and what was your favorite feature till now. First feature was how to identify and promote hero products in catalog ads, or basically how to identify and promote the less discovered products inside your hero categories. Second, we have how to promote and identify the profitable chunks in your low discoverable products. And lastly, we had rule-based catalog categorization and a case study of the same for Bombay Shirt Company. So, what was your favorite feature? Let's release the poll and let's see which feature did you like the most. All right. If you are able to see a poll on your screens, please vote and let us know which feature was your favorite. And if not, you can also tap it out in the chat box and let us know your reviews of every feature and how you liked them. Let's give it another 5 seconds. We'll be answering all your queries just in another just 5-7 minutes after another section that Divisha will be taking up. So please do vote in the poll and let us know what was your favorite feature till now, because this will also give us an understanding of your feedback on today's session, and will help us also refine the upcoming sessions in the upcoming months. Also, after the next 10 minutes, we'll have a Q&A session. So it's good to have your questions ready so that we can answer every question one after the another without wasting any times, without wasting any time. So, all right, let's close the poll in another 5 seconds. All right, let's see the results. Great. How to identify and promote the less discoverable products in your Great. How to promote the profitable products in your less discoverable categories. So, like Pranab rightly explained to us, how to identify your less discoverable categories and then promote the profitable chunks out of them will definitely help you to not only increase visibility, but also to identify where there are, potential of increasing your profitability of the account overall. All right. Now, the last section of the webinar, we have how to combat post-holiday slump that I'm sure a lot of you must have been, frustrated with. So over to you, Divisha, and hopefully our audience here will be able to derive some actionable insights using the checklist that we'll be sharing in another 2 minutes.
Thank you so much, Muskan. Yes. So, hi everyone, I'm Divisha. Mostly I'll be covering certain pointers, with regards to post-holiday slump, which I think many of us are frustrated about, right? The December month must have gone well, but we are still seeing a slump, which is again continuing, right? But fret not, I have certain pointers which we can focus upon and make this month a success as well. First would be to create a mid-funnel campaign strategy. Right now is the time where we are seeing the costs for Meta going high, whereas Google is still a channel which is having certain campaigns at lesser cost, right? So let's focus on building a stringent mid-funnel strategy. Focus on certain top cities, focus on certain optimizations like add to cart, view content, initiate checkout. That'll help you gain audiences. And with this audience, we can basically use Republic Day sale as a proper event to retarget them, and that'll be a great one. Second would be to cross-sell and upsell our existing users. Using our dynamic campaigns, it would be better to make a cross-sell and upsell campaigns, figure out certain categories, let's say, which are of higher AOV, show them to users which have bought mid or low AOV products, retarget them, and through that, we'll be able to generate and capitalize on a good chunk of revenue. Third, like I said, Google as a channel has lesser costs as of now rather than Meta. So let's focus on starting more YouTube and discovery or demand gen campaigns. That'll help you build a very good funnel as of now, and you can capitalize on the same during the sale event which is coming up, right? Fourth would be to focus on high converting products, and mostly these products which have great inventory in stock, right? Better would be to make product sets of this combo, right, and show them to your most prospecting audiences, because and even your customers and your dynamic audiences as well. This is the best product to try out as of now during this period. Then would be advantage plus shopping campaigns. Try and have a separate campaign for this particular objective. Focus on your retargeting and remarketing audiences over here. Then this is in fact the best time to have new launches in place. If you have anything planned or which can be refurbished in such a way that you can present a new launch of a particular category, let's push that. And also try giving a certain incentive to the users, let's say a 5 or a 10% discounting if you are okay with discounts. That will be a great strategy to sort of focus upon, and a good buzz creator as well. Now, in case you have any current sales running, or let's say you would be planning a Republic Day sale for your brand, try and have like a timer or a countdown sort of a thing on your website, so that your users are aware that something big is coming up. And also try cross-selling and upselling on the website using certain plugins that will also make the users, explore the other products or categories that is present in your catalog, and thereby you can capitalize very well during the Republic Day sale. And lastly would be to have performance max campaigns for your best-selling products or categories in place. And that can be used for prospecting as well as your, with the purpose of retargeting, and thereby you can capitalize on the same. Yes, I think over to you, Pranav.
All right, thank you so much, Divisha. I hope this checklist will help our audiences use during this specific period, especially till Republic Day and till Lodi. So I hope this month of January will be good for you, especially using the checklist pointers that Divisha just shared. And moving on to the last section of this webinar, and also this free product performance audit that we promised at the beginning of the session. So if you want to know the distribution of your products, like we showed initially, while starting the webinar, you can always reach out to us, or you can always scan the QR code that is on your screen, or just fill out the Google form that has been shared in the chat box with you. All you got to do is put in your details, that is name, phone number, your e-commerce website, the number of products on your website, and the ad spends that you're currently running your ad account on, and submit the form. Two things to keep in mind while filling this form is, firstly, that you must have a product catalog of, let's say, at least 150 to 200 products, because only then we can bucketize your products into 4 quadrants, that is hero, hidden gems, low discoverable, and poor performing. And second is to have at least a monthly ad spends of let's say 8 to 10 lakh rupees, because you need to be spending on your catalog linked ads for us to do this product performance audit. So I hope you meet these 2 criteria that we have just mentioned, and you are able to derive the most value from the product performance audit that we are giving out for free. All you have to do is scan the QR code on the screen, or fill out the Google form in the chat box. So I hope you enjoyed this session. Now we'll have our Q&A session as promised. And first question that we received in the chat box was, what's the difference between ROAS from PMAX and the website ROAS? So this question has been posted during the product analytics view that we were seeing just 5 minutes back. So let's go to the Adyogi dashboard and let's see the product analytics section on the Adyogi dashboard. All right. So as the question says, what is the difference between the column called ROAS from PMAX ads? So basically, ROAS from PMAX ads is basically what is your return from ad spends coming solely from your performance max campaigns on Google, and your ROAS from website revenue is the ratio of your website revenue divided by catalog ad spends. By catalog ad spends, I mean your PMAX ads ad spends plus your meta catalog ads ad spends. So basically, the ROAS that you see, the second last column from the left is basically the ROAS of, in bracket it says website revenue, is to give you clarity that it's a blended ROAS and a combination of two data sources. That is, first in the numerator we have our website revenue, and in the denominator we have an addition of your catalog ad spends from Meta and Google to give you an understanding how each and every category is performing in your catalog ads. While on the second column from the left hand side, we have the ROAS from PMAX ads, which basically gives you an understanding what is your return from ad spend solely from your PMAX ads on Google. So this is the difference between the ROAS between these two on product analytics page, and we have ROAS from your Facebook catalog ads as well. So as I said, this is a comprehensive view and it will give you an understanding of how your categories are performing, not just on one channel, but on two channels, as well as compared to the website where you can compare your paid ad spends to the overall website revenue, and your overall website revenue will contain your organic revenue as well as revenue from your paid ads. So that is the difference. I hope I was clear. Next question that we have in the chat box is, what data points should I use while filtering my products? So I guess this might be related to the two challenges that Pranav touched upon, and how can we identify the data points while setting up smart ads. So I would like to ask Pranav to take up this question.
Sure. Thank you, Muskan. And that again is a very valid question, in fact. So when you're trying to understand what should be the product pointers, so let's say what should be the data pointer that you should, use to select or let's say segregate your product. So it solely depends upon, see, at the end of the day, if you're looking at the final profitability or the conversion of a product, what you can do is you can define, so against a metric, what you can say is, if a product can be a fast converting product for me, or if a product has to be a profitable product for me. Now, based on those two, let's say, conventions, either you can use the concept of blended ROAS, where we select that in case if the product is profitable based on your website revenue, then you can surely use the concept of website ROAS. So what we can do, we can go to the filter section and let me just select a filter. So what I can say is, let's say if a product has, let's say, greater than 1,000 views, and my ROAS, that is my blended ROAS or website ROAS, is, let's say, greater than 5. So essentially what I have done is I've tried to identify a list of products or segments of my products where I have got a considerable amount of views, which is, let's say, more than 1,000 views. But I've also considered the profitability spectrum by using the blended ROAS concept, where it is giving me a ROAS of, let's say, more than 5x. Now, at the same time, if I now want to say check what is the conversion or what is the speed of a product at which it converts, I can simply go and change this from, let's say, my ROAS to my conversion rate. And I can say that any conversion rate that is, let's say, more than 2%, or let's say a better conversion rate of, let's say, of 2%. So what it essentially means is that now I'm also focusing on products that are converting fast for me. Now, in case, let's say, if I want to pick up my most profitable chunk, what I can do is I can also pick up my conversion rate and my blended ROAS concept as well. So a segment of products that are fast converting for me, but at the same time are also profitable for me. So this again depends upon the categorization that you want to select or, let's say, list your product based on. So again, views as the number of visibility spends can be a parameter that you can use to, let's say, check if a product has spent certain matrices, and if the conversion is more than this percent, or let's say the ROAS is more than this percent, then you can, let's say, create those segments and use the filter section to identify those segments of ROAS. On the same hand, what you can also do is, let's say, if you want to, let's say, also do all of that segmentation based on a certain specific category. So you can say that, pick up a category, let's say, from my hero category, which is, let's say, kurta. So essentially what it will do is it will pick up a specific segment of products from your specific category where this meets a specific profitability or a conversion segment. So these are the multiple parameters and attributes that you can actually use to filter your data, or let's say narrow down your data on, then create those segments that you want to analyze your data for. So I think, yeah, that is what I wanted to say. And across the spectrum as well, you can also identify products on certain specific funnels. So what you can do is, let's say, you can also use certain metrics such as spends to views. So let's say if a product has got relevant spends, but still the number of views are still less, then you can also identify those segmented products as well. So this is how you use the filter section to, play around with your catalog data and then identify those cohorts or those segments. I hope that answers.
Thanks, Pranav. In case anyone has any doubts still, then please feel free to put it in the Q&A box or the chat box that we have live. And I hope Pranav was able to answer your question. Next question we have is around middle funnel strategy. It says, could you elaborate a bit on middle funnel strategy? So over to you, Divisha.
Thanks, Muskan. So over here, middle funnel strategy is nothing but again, trying to build a funnel so that of users who could ultimately become your purchases over a period of time, right? So now there are two, three kinds of middle funnel campaigns that you can run. Firstly, these campaigns are optimized not for conversions, but for something like getting more views on your product pages, or getting more cart ads on your product pages, or getting more checkouts overall for the cart, right? So main idea would be to run these sort of campaigns wherein you build the funnel over here, and later on you can run more conversions optimized campaigns through which you can retarget the users that you've acquired through the add to cart, view content, or initiate checkout middle funnel campaigns, right? And secondly, for Google, a middle funnel strategy would be nothing but like running YouTube or demand gen campaigns for your custom intent of audiences, because they are the most perfect audiences who are actually looking out for certain products which you can also offer, right? So these are the kind of campaigns that you can run when it comes to middle funnel, alongside a bit of optimization in terms of focusing on certain cities that are generating the highest revenue for you, or else cities wherein your products are, let's say, selling out fast, or there is a demand for a particular category. I think we can do a bit more of city level targeting. Alongside, the best strategy would be to keep it as niche as possible, but not very niche as well, neither very broad. So focus on a particular age group as well, the most relevant audience. And when it comes to interest groups, try making it as relevant as it is for your brand. Try adding in competitor keywords as well if possible, and the brand names as well. So all of this hand in hand will sort of optimize your middle funnel campaigns as well. And I think this is it.
Thanks, Divisha. I hope that answers your question. So, I hope that answers the question. And if you still have any doubts, please, again, I would suggest that feel free to reach out in the chat or the Q&A section. We'll be taking up one more question before we close the session. And it's, I think, again, in continuance of what you talked about regarding the checklist, it's about what strategies do you suggest during Republic Day sale? So again, it's a very valid question since Republic Day is just around the corner and a lot of D2C brands must be planning to have a discounting strategy or some kind of sale coming up during Republic Day. So over to you, Divisha.
Okay. So, I mean, a couple of things could be done for Republic Day sale. Firstly, I would say to create urgency, always have a banner on your website, and try having a timer as well. Through this, the users keep getting reminded of they have less time to buy your products, so they might want to buy it out as quickly as possible. And try having overlays in place. I think overlays is something that we have seen in history for our clients as well. They sort of improve your CTR to a good extent, and they create a different sort of attraction as well for your creatives. So I think having overlays in place is a great strategy, and we should definitely implement it. Alongside that, try having more, custom ads which sort of take us to category pages. That is something that we have seen for our clients as well, having like single image, GIF, or video content up and running, and even using influencer content just for the purpose of sale. Let's say if it's a massive offer that you are giving it to the users, this sort of content and creative type can definitely help you in boosting things up. Do a little bit more of retargeting when it comes to a sale rather than prospecting. Like in general, if you do like a 20 or 30% retargeting in generally, try increasing it by more 10%, because your users might again buy in chunks, right? So it's better that way. Also, try having lookalikes of your existing users. That will also help you to a good extent. And yeah, I think this is it.
All right. I think we've given a full-fledged strategy for the Republic Day sale that is coming up to our attendees here. So I hope you all enjoyed this session. We'll be sharing the Google Form link again for you to avail the free product performance audit. And we'll be reaching out to you soon to get your details for the for product performance audit. And in case you have any issues or you have any doubts regarding today's session, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to address it. Hope you liked today's session. Thank you so much for attending. We'll see you next month, the month of February, where we have a lot of other festivities planned, like Valentine's Day, etc. So we'll come up with new strategies for you, new platform features for you to help you enhance your ad strategy and boost profitability. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye bye.